This is Spare Parts, your show for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Stephen Cleary, Sean Cavarella, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Welcome to Spare Parts. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Stephen.
And I'm Taylor.
And this week, we are... What the fuck are you two laughing about?
She sounded so upset.
Just disappointed with your own name?
I'm
Taylor.
disappointed. Well, you know what? I used to hate my name, but now I like it. But I think it's because I just have like so much embarrassment like boiling up knowing that we're going over our predictions, and I'm just like, I feel the pain already.
Yes, because you didn't let me explain that this week we are going through our F1 2022 season recap, I guess. Look back at it, see our predictions, talk about the season as a whole, go through it from there. And yes, we will have to go over what we thought. And boy, we did not think, apparently.
No,
Apparently not.
I'm currently still adding up all the mistakes. There's not a lot of green for good.
Gosh.
Sean, you've already scored 5 points somewhere.
For what?
You'll find out.
Okay, I'll take it.
In your predictions. Do we want to do predictions first, or do we want to recap the F1 season? Because I have an idea for that.
Okay, personally,
But also
I'd
gives me
rather...
time.
I think we should recap the F1 season first. Talk about kind of the things we liked. Steven, you have your idea. And then we'll go through the roasting each other afterwards.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, I mean,
sounds
the
good. I
roasting
like that.
Roasting will be throughout.
Ah. You mean, okay, stop right there. Stop the buses. I know what is going to happen here. Y'all are going to roast the only Ferrari fan here.
No.
No?
No. Here's my
I don't
idea.
trust that.
Here's
I really
my-
don't
no.
trust it.
No. Here's my idea. Okay, so we'll start with going over the F1 season as a whole. We can do like favorite parts and all that. We can get, and I want to go through team by team, but I want to split it into 3 sections. Two sections are each driver, so drivers 1 and driver 2, and section 3 is the team, separate from the drivers. Because I feel like there's one team in particular this really helps the drivers out, because the driver performance was much better than the
Okay. So
team performance.
What you're saying is we're going to go through team by team and go through the team itself and the 2 drivers and kind of talk about their season?
Yeah, I mean, like that's how we can break down each team. Like look at each driver's individual performance.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm putting down?
You're explaining it's terrible, but sure, let's go with this.
No, it's not.
We are
think that's
picking
pretty
up
straightforward.
what you are laying down.
I'm sort of picking it up. I'm kind of like very hesitantly picking it up.
Okay. Steven, you did okay with your explanation. But
Steven,
I get what you mean.
lead the discussion. Give us examples. Let's go after you.
Okay, so let's start. Well, I want to start with the team that was the example, but I think we have to start with the overall champions, that being Red Bull.
Yeah.
So let's look first. How do we want to do this? Do we want to look at Max, Checo, or the team? Because I think this is another one where we can sort of do a couple different looks at it.
We can. How about everyone takes one?
Sure.
Okay.
Let everybody take one.
So who wants to start with Max?
I'll take Max.
Okay.
Oh, of course.
Nice, easy one for you.
Exactly. Fantastic year. Like,
yeah.
From where the year started with like DNFing the first race, Max is able to basically carry the entire season, not give a shit of all the other stuff going on in the, I would say, drama of the F1 world this year. Did his thing, just was consistently fast, did nothing but win races. And
pretty much.
It was a very dominant season. It really was.
Yep. 5th most wins in a season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
right?
Yes, he had the most wins in a season. However, by percentage of calendar wins, technically no.
Yes.
But
yes. But most. Yes.
Yes, he had the most wins. like his second half of the year is nuts.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
it really was.
From Austria onwards, like literally from race, or I guess from French Grand Prix onwards, which is the second 11 races of the year, he didn't win 2 of them.
Oh my gosh. That win percentage is insane.
He had a very good season. So I that's all I'm gonna say about Max. He was great, did his thing, on track, didn't put a foot wrong. When it comes to his teammates, be less of a dick. And I feel like he needs to be less of a dick and just let his driving speak for itself. And then he may be starting to get into that kind of great territory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
The only thing I would add to that, because I think that's a pretty good breakdown of his year, is I think we saw a bit of a more mature Max Verstappen. You didn't see the crazy kamikaze moves that he would maybe make even just a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, I think Spa is a good example. He just slowly worked his way up the field, didn't try and make up all 13 places in turn 1 off the start. That
That's
we
fair.
saw, like, it was much more, okay, we got the first one under the belts. We're just gonna methodically work our way through and not just be the all-out aggressive raging bull.
Was it a mature factor with Max, or is also that his competition he respects more? Because if
Maybe
you
a
think,
little.
if you think of who he fought most of the year, being Leclerc, and we'll get to Leclerc obviously, they had a much more respectable fight between each other than we
Yep.
saw with Lewis and Max whenever they were close to each other. So it
But-
could be that versus maturity. It could be he respected his opponent more.
But I
Could
think
also
that
be that.
like those two bits though are connected because I think that he is maturing into a more experienced driver, and with that comes more respect for your competitors, because last year I think he wanted it so bad that he kind of didn't really give a flying flip about anybody else around him. And I don't think that he I don't know, like, yeah, he's more mature. I'm losing the plot in what I was gonna say. To
Yeah.
be quite honest, I like had another thought in my head and like completely disrupted.
Okay, well, let's move on from the mature thing for Max. Yada yada. Who wants to take Perez? We have a bunch of guys to get through. We have at least 30 points to make. So let's. We don't have to beat the dead horse in one.
No.
So who wants Perez? Who wants Red Bull?
I don't know. Taylor, do you want to roast Red Bull?
Yes, I absolutely do.
I'll take Checo. I think Checo had a pretty good year. He was third overall, and it came down to the last race. Was a good second gunner to Max, and I don't think there's really much else to say.
I mean,
Like,
he
just
won in Monaco.
solid year.
That's a pretty good race.
Wins
to
in
win.
Monaco. Wins in Monaco. For some reason, the only other thing was I don't know if you guys saw the picture circling of the Red Bull being sold, and it had a picture of
Max
and Dan. Yeah, and it's
Oh.
like, oh, is Checo on his way out now? He's already lost his seat somehow, but no, he'll be around
No.
because he's a good second guy, and as long as everything's smoothed over, he'll. It sounds like he'll just keep that role and be back being the rear gunner for Max again next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if he can do similar, because what was it? Was it just before summer break? I think he was still or maybe it was even earlier than that when Max was still making up the points from his reliability issues, and it was like, could Checo win a championship here if Max keeps having equipment breakdowns? And it was like, he could realistically be the one going up against Leclerc, and then both sort of just faded away very quickly into the rear view of Max Verstappen.
Yeah, I don't think Checo will be the one to fight for championships. I think he will be that second guy, but he'll be the guy that Red Bull needs to win when Max can't.
Yep, he's the guy to prop them up in the constructors.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And if he has the same year he does this year, and Max gives him a little more help maybe, and Red Bull give him a little more help maybe in terms of strategy, he'll
Like very
be
rarely
absolutely.
rarely did Perez beat Max on pace, but he was always there to clean up when Max couldn't
Yep.
be.
And that's what you should be doing as
Yeah.
a second driver.
Exactly. And that's a good team management by Horner. To have that guy who will just kind of maybe not be, you know, the antagonist to your number one driver, but be a good complementary piece.
Yep, exactly.
Taylor,
Okay, Taylor,
thoughts on Red Bull?
rip into Red Bull.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna rip into them, but so Red Bull
kinda
had, yes, they had a great season. Obviously, they won the constructors, A++. However, we can't recognize that like they did have some struggles, especially the first half of the season. Their car wasn't necessarily there yet, but they figured it out. And then they the whole overspending cap issue came up. Now, how that's going to affect them next year, we will see. I don't know. Like, I don't have anything like too negative to say about them. Like, they had their struggles, they had their internal like issues. I think there's some stuff to maybe perhaps sort out, like in terms of the relationships within the team. But hopefully all of that is smoothed over. Maybe Max will be a little bit more understanding towards Checo's like situation, especially on track. I think Horner is good. Like he's a really good team principal and he knows how to like foster that team environment, I think. And it's very obvious that they don't have any like issues in like the management of things. Like another team that we'll talk about later. But yeah, like they're doing well. I'm excited. Like I'm glad that Ricardo is back, and he's still within the F1 world for next year. But I am interested to see how that the penalties for them overspending will affect them next year. So we shall see. Will their car still be dominant? I don't know.
They also get less development time now and wind tunnel time with the new regulations, so it'll be
Yeah,
interesting
so
to
it's
see.
a big TBD.
But in terms of starting out a new regulation, starting everything, Red Bull basically did everything right.
Yeah, they well, I don't think that they like in the beginning. I think they were still definitely like testing things out, and didn't necessarily have the right formula at the beginning of the season, but they figured it out, and good for them. They were dominant. There's not much we could say about that.
Well, I remember,
And A++ for their strategy team.
yeah. I remember beginning of the year, though, Horner said something like, because they had DNFs and stuff, not the best reliability. And Horner said, well, I'd rather make a reliable or a fast car reliable than a reliable car fast. And
Yes.
and that worked out for them. It really did. And like it's that kind of attitude, I feel like, that top down helps that team. So they did good.
Yeah, 100%.
And
They
we
did.
saw what making a reliable car fast. Or no, yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on.
No, a fast car
look for-
reliable.
Which team are you trying to
for-
chirp here? Because there's
I
two
was
ways.
trying to transition towards our little red special team.
They did not make a fast car reliable at all. They just kept trying to make it fast.
Yeah.
And they failed.
No.
was
They
the-
no. Mm-mm. This is where I disagree with you.
Okay,
Are
so
we moving on?
let's move on to Ferrari. Okay, who
Yeah.
wants to take Leclerc? Who wants to take Sainz? Who wants to take the team?
Okay, I feel like
we
I
got to
need to
get
take the team.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say Taylor can take the
Taylor gets
team
the team.
because
Okay,
we'll switch. I'll take driver 1, you take driver 2.
I just took driver 2 last time, didn't I? Oh, no, I took driver. No, yeah,
You took Max,
yeah,
dumbass.
fair enough. Yeah, that's driver 2, right?
Yeah, obviously. After the whole Checo rear gunner thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, okay.
So anyways,
go
Charles Signs. No, it's Charles, and if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. After 3 races, it looked really good, and then it all went off the rails. The hype train quickly died. I can't remember how many points they had thrown away, but he should have been much closer in terms of a title fight later this year. He deserved a lot better. The biggest criticism I think this year we can put on Charles Leclerc that has been somewhat apparent his entire time in F1 is he needs to drive with a bit more of an edge.
Yes. He's too nice.
You could
Yeah.
see he's far too nice, and you could see that through the beginning of the season. And I hope that the sort of chirpy little quick jabs at the team stick around, whether Binotto stays or not. And he has this, and if Ferrari gets off to the same start as last year, I hope he brings that same sort of energy where he's questioning the team. And he needs to be the one that, if like, so we've talked about, the wall has more information, but at the same time, the driver in the car knows how the car feels and what he likes. So if he says, no, you're going to do this for me, not all the time, but he needs to be a little more assertive, both in how he's doing the strategy and also just his on-track driving. So I'd like to see him become a little more like Max Verstappen, and that older Max Verstappen, where he's getting his elbows out in the corner, shoving guys around a little bit, and yeah, just be a little more assertive in every part of his on-track experience.
That's fair.
I think if Ferrari can give him a somewhat reliable car and half decent strategy, maybe he won't win next year, but he can be a lot closer and not barely scraping out second.
Fair enough. As for Carlos Sainz, if we want to talk about, bad luck, for what Leclerc had, Sainz had basically double that.
Yep.
He had 6 retirements this year. One which should have been a sure win in Austria, I think. Like, that's the one thing funny with Ferrari. They both pissed away sure wins. Like, Sainz pissed away one. Well, he didn't because... And then Leclerc crashed out of France, right?
Yeah.
Like, they both have it. If they can put together a consistent year, a fast, reliable year, I actually don't know which one of them is the better driver.
Yeah, and that's the strength of
that's fair.
Ferrari, right? You
Yeah.
can have either one be at the front. It's not Max is at the front and Checo's in the back. It's 1 week it'll be Sainz, 1 week it's 1A, 1B.
Yes, very much so. Like, there's no 1-2, it's 1A, 1B. No.
Mhm.
And surprisingly, though, they did not seem to have a cantankerous, I guess, relationship this year, right?
Mhm.
They seemed to get along well. A lot of good, it seemed like they were kind of more frustrated at the team than the team being frustrated at them for not doing their job. It's like, no, we're just doing the best we can. You guys help us out. So for Sainz, I think he had a good year. He just needs to get better luck next year, and I think he could challenge for a championship too, if Ferrari gets their shit together. Now, passing it off to Taylor.
Mute.
Okay.
Deep sigh.
Oh, rude.
Check Twitter.
No, I'm muting myself so you can go off.
Oh, thank you. I don't even know where to start. It's just such a mess. The team itself is such a flippin' mess. Okay, so car development wise, I think Ferrari's biggest problem is they had a fast car, then messed with it and ruined it. They ruined reliability, and they ruined this, the pace that they had. They just, as soon as they started kind of trying to make the car better, they made it so much worse. So that's point number 1. Number 2, they have a terrible team environment. Terrible. Binotto, he does not foster a good environment there. I don't think it's very, he has a very different style than Horner does, and Horner does so well in, propping the drivers up, but he also kind of tells it like it is. Binotto, I think, lives in a delusional land. The man is delusional to think that Ferrari does not have a problem. They have a problem at the top, and they have a problem with their strategists who don't know how to call anything. When you're actively when the drivers are actively calling the strategy every single race while they're driving the car on the track, that's ridiculous.
Or you're
It
asking
seems
your
like-
driver to call the strategy without actually having one yourself.
Exactly. So it's the fact that they are planning on the fly, that is a huge problem. What are they getting paid to do? Sit around and twiddle their thumbs?
Question.
Oh, you know what? I just figured out how Ferrari's going to come back next year. Get rid of all the strategists. Let Leclerc and Sainz call the race. You save so much money.
But like, okay,
Put it all into the car.
so there's two
They
things I
might
would
be
say.
successful that way.
Two things I would say to Ferrari's defense, and one absolute criticism, and you can know the problem was there from that. So, to Ferrari's defense, I think that technical directive that came mid-season with the floors definitely killed their pace. But
Yeah,
the
I would agree
bendy
with that.
floors, because they were a lot closer to Red Bull, and then after that, Red Bull really started running away with it.
Yep.
Mm.
And as
That's a good point.
for the reliability, you know what? I can never fault a team for having unreliable cars, especially when they're fast. You know, you're running it as hard
Well,
as
they
you can.
can.
But like it's the
But
nature
it's
of the
part of-
beast. It is.
Yeah, it's the nature of the beast, but you can also run a reliable car. Red Bull did it.
But like Ferrari
I don't
isn't even the
see-
most unreliable team.
No, I mean there are other teams who struggled so much more with reliability
Yeah,
issues.
it kills their championship hopes, but it still makes them a fast team. Like they're still second, right?
Mhm. Okay, so what's your next point?
The issue is
They were
there. Like
second.
the problem with Ferrari though is that they have an image issue. That is it. They care too much about their image more than they do on track performance, and it was evident in Drive to Survive the second they made Bernardo only speak Italian.
Oh my gosh.
Because like, yes, we
I know.
are the Italian team. We're gonna do this. Okay, you're not the Italian team. There's another team that's Italian. It's called AlphaTauri. I almost said Toro Rosso. So Ferrari, just don't worry about that crap. Just do your thing. And that's the biggest issue with them is I feel like they care more of what's going on around them than what's going on inside their team. And I think part of that has to do with Bernardo.
Yes. I think the image thing is an issue for sure. But I think one of their biggest problems in terms of their actual performance on track is their leadership. They do not have the leadership there that that is going to foster a good and successful environment in Ferrari. When the drivers are frustrated, it will not spell success. Like if you do not keep them happy, you do not get results.
Exactly.
Period.
And
Just period.
I feel like that's all we can really say about Ferrari, you know?
Yep, they were
Yeah.
still second despite all their issues. So hopefully they can sort that out. And
The issues isn't the
Put up a
car,
better
it's not the
fight.
drivers. It's everything
Yeah.
else, and that's just Ferrari.
It's everything else. Yeah.
yep. So if
Okay,
they can
cool
put
beans.
those issues, if they can put those issues behind them, I'd love to see what they can do. Because again,
Agreed.
despite all the pissed away points throughout the year, they were still second.
Yeah.
And
I-
not
yeah.
like last race.
So-
It was pretty close, but not
Yeah.
at the same time.
And their
I mean,
closest
as-
competition was Mercedes. So
Yes.
who wants to take what here?
Sean, do you want the team this time?
I'll take team.
Or do
I'll
you
take
want
team.
me? Yeah.
You can take team.
Who do you want, Taylor? Do you want
Give her
I'll
George.
take
Lulu or-
Lewis.
Damn it.
Okay. Go for it.
I'll take Lewis.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Start us off.
Well, he did not have necessarily a great year. I mean, there's really not much you can say about it. Like, he just didn't have that great of a year. It was his first season that he did not win one race. The car struggled, and that kind of like, it didn't help things in that situation. He did manage to get some podiums, and good for him. But overall, he was consistently lacking in pace behind George. Like he had a few good races, especially towards the second half of the season, and towards the end as a whole. But I think he really did struggle this year, maybe to get a handle on the car, but he was just outperformed by George most of the time. That's all I have to say. Like hopefully he has a better year next year, but I really like at this point I don't see him ever being able to surpass like Schumacher's record. Like I think he's just going to remain tied. I
hope he
really
does.
don't think that
I don't
Huh?
want. I hope he does. I don't want anyone to break that record. I like 7 being
Yeah.
the bar.
I like 7 being the bar too. It's just like I can tell that, or at least it comes off to me that I know that he's staying in F1 because he really wants to get that. Like, I'm sure. And perhaps maybe he will be one of those drivers that literally drives until he's dead. I don't know. But I think he's so focused on that goal. I just think he's missed the boat. And I think he's like coming into the past his prime.
I will give him one more year before I say
Of
past
his
the prime.
career.
I'll give 1 more year.
You can
Yeah.
give 1 more year. I would also argue that this is a great example of why he's not the GOAT. But anyway,
If okay,
moving
yeah,
on.
but we're not going to talk about Schumacher's return to Mercedes, though. That's
Yeah. No. I would
no,
agree.
but like
So, I
overall,
would-
he's still not the GOAT.
I would argue, though, with Lewis, he had a hard time beginning of the year adjusting to the new car.
Well, and
Okay.
they had a very tough time with the porpoising, right?
yeah.
Like he got
Yeah.
his as bad. Don't say phrasing after this. He got his back blown out, basically.
Yeah, he did. But also, like, as the old man of the grid now, essentially, like he's 37, he's getting up there in age. You don't.
Dude, are you? He's not the old man of the grid when you still have Alonso on
I know
it.
Alonso was like the fucking dead corpse.
Grandfather.
Yeah. But like Lewis is up there, and your body doesn't recover as fast as you get older, despite how great shape he is in. So yeah, like it definitely took him a while, but you could see in his results he got better and quicker as the season got on.
Yep. And
Yeah,
if they
and
can
there's
give him a
no-
good car,
Yeah.
let's see what he can do.
I'll give him next year because I think Mercedes looked a lot stronger towards the second half. If Ferrari figures their shit out, you might have a good 3-way battle next year. And who knows, maybe a 4th team can jump up there too.
We can give him till next year. I just really look. That's just my opinion.
That's fair. Steven, what do you think about George? What was George's year like?
George, Rosberg 2.0, he beat Lewis in similar machinery. Simple as that. No, but I think he's done a good job stepping up into the new equipment. The big thing for George is, I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago as well, was he's sort of becoming the crash happy guy, and he's at the front of the pack now, which is never a good thing.
No, he's great. I love it. Be aggressive. We just said to Leclerc, be aggressive. Yet we're going to criticize George.
Yeah, but then the complaining of how someone else turned into him when he turned into someone else, if he can cut that, sure.
Yeah.
George,
It's a Mercedes thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, maybe Toto will beat it out of him, because I feel like George thinks he's kind of the golden boy because that's how he's been sort of brought up.
Oh, you mean
now
he's
that-
Lewis 2.0?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but now that he's up at the front, if he can, I think he'll eventually end up sort of going the path of Max. The aggression will come out after he gets a couple wins under his belt.
Getting the 1 win this year was huge for him, though.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
Getting the first one out of the way is big. I think with both, and this is another thing we talked about before, the consistency over the course of the season is a bigger key than going out and trying to win every race. So once he can get some consistency in winning, like say next year he bumps it up to 3 wins or something, and then he gets a little more competitive, 4 or 5 wins after that, and he's in title fights, and he understands the consistency of, okay, I can't be first, let's bring the car home in a really strong position, and that'll help my title chance. I think that'll help him as well. So, a very good step forward this year, and I'm excited to see what else he can do and same thing as Lewis, like if Mercedes can provide a better car next season, let's see them take the fight to Red Bull as well, and Ferrari as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
As for Mercedes as a team, I think they had a good season. And you have to measure the season not necessarily by the success they had on track, but from where they started the season to where they ended. And at the beginning of the season, they were the clear number 3 on the grid. After being the dominant car for like 6 years, they were now number 3. And they as a team, didn't let it bother them. They just went to work improving the car, getting data. Like, if you think of some of the early races, how often were the Mercedes just kind of doing their own thing?
Yep, just puttering around
Yeah.
5th and 6th.
Yeah,
Maybe looking at Lando Norris in the rear view.
if he was close. But yeah, they were consistently there. But they just kind of, as the season went on, got a little better, started figuring out the car more, learned more. That team has a great depth of knowledge, and you can see it in all the other cars they built previously. I believe they are going to come back stronger next year, and if I was to bet on it right now, I would not have a problem betting on them being constructor or even like for first or second in construction next year. My gut says first.
Yeah. Okay.
I won't disagree with you there.
Like by the end of the season, they were the number 2 team. Ferrari had fallen out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's just knowledge of understanding the car. So we'll see. And maybe that's the genius of Lewis Hamilton that no one really knows about is car development. You know? So we'll see where this team goes. I think they're on a good trajectory. I think next year they could be a lot better.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. So I guess we did the all British driver team. Let's skip across the pond to the all French team next year. Even though one driver is not French this year.
I'll take Fernando.
Alpine. You want Fernando?
I
Okay.
want Fernando.
You want Fernando?
Do you want Esteban or do you want the team, Taylor?
I will take Esteban.
Okay, sweet. I get the team. Sean, kick it off.
Fernando
Or
had
I
terrible
guess-
luck.
I don't know. Is it? Yeah.
There's not much
Yeah.
more to say than Fernando. That team could have been like the fight they had with McLaren shouldn't have been as close. They had
Yeah.
No.
so many retirements, especially good retirements when they were in good points paying position. Right? Like Ocon technically beats Alonso by 9 points. No, 11 points.
It was
Bad
9
math. It's 11.
Or yeah, 11.
11
Yep.
points. But like we all know that Alonso was the better driver, and he should have had more points.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think for Alonso, again, he just wants to be in a team where he doesn't have to worry about, I think, reliability. He just wants to drive. And seeing his frustration in all his breakdowns and retirements, like he had what? 6, 7 retirements this year.
Yep.
Besides
So,
those, every single race he had, he was in the points. So if he doesn't have any of those retirements, he's definitely going to be he'd be up there for sure. So,
Yep,
Mhm.
and they're just the clear-cut Formula C.
Yeah.
Technically.
and as we'll get to the team later, I guess. But for Alonso, I think it's good for him that he is leaving, because I think he'll have more fun and maybe a bigger check in the bank at Aston Martin. But for the team, I think it's better also that Alonso's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Steven?
All right,
Yeah.
Taylor. Esteban.
All right.
Ah,
Taylor's got
Esteban.
Okay.
Huh?
I thought Steven had Esteban.
You got
I missed that
Esteban.
part.
Nope, I got the team this
No,
time.
no.
Okay.
I've got Esteban. I think he had a decent season. I think that he is still not necessarily gotten the maturity that perhaps he could be developing or should be developing as a more experienced driver on the grid. I don't know. Like he had a decent season. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't bad. I think it was kind of like mid-tier. I don't really remember any like outstanding bad results that he had. I'm sure there are some that I'm not remembering. I'm sure there are some retirements that he had that I'm not necessarily remembering. But I will say that I think Esteban seriously needs to improve his role as a team member, because he has a very He has a long history of being a difficult teammate because he thinks that he should be the best. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out next year with Gasly.
Did you see his comments today?
I
Oh,
did
no.
not see his
What'd
comments
he say?
today. What
basically,
happened?
basically saying Alonso was a lazy piece of shit, and like I did like 90% of the work.
Are you kidding me?
So gave the
Esteban,
part
seriously?
gave some parting
STFU.
shots on. Yep, gave some
I'm
parting
sorry,
shots
but
on the way out.
That's
he's
great.
so, and like this is part of the problem with Esteban though.
I don't disagree with him though. Probably, I feel like that's probably pretty true. I don't feel like Alonso really cares.
I
at this
don't think
point.
it is true. No, I would disagree with that because Alonso is super involved with the cars.
But once he's on
Like
his way out, why
super
would he help
involved
them?
wherever he goes.
But mid-season, when he signs to
Yeah,
leave,
but,
he
like-
wouldn't care to help them anymore. So that's why I kind of don't disagree
but
with
that
probably
doesn't
what,
make
what
him-
Ocon says.
Yeah, but the first half of the season when he didn't have a deal yet, he probably did pretty like care a lot about
Probably,
the
yeah.
car and tried to make it better. But obviously either the team didn't respect his opinion to make it better and Esteban wasn't helping his situation either by being a terrible teammate on track.
They were terrible to each other. They're both a bunch of dicks.
Mm-hmm. They were.
The entirety of F1 is a bunch of dicks.
Yeah, we need to get more women
But
in the sport.
you can
I'm
be-
sorry.
Agreed.
But no, it's true. But those two are some of the most aggressive and non-caring towards their teammates.
Yep, and you saw it on track a lot this season. They were
And you saw it,
constantly
yeah.
bumping into each other.
You've
And-
seen it over
Constantly.
both their careers.
hmm
So it's,
Yep.
it's no surprise, really.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I think
All right, Steven.
Part-
take it away.
part of that
Go to the team.
that's part of my critique of Alpine. This year, they've obviously put together a very good car, albeit somewhat unreliable in the case of Alonso. But they were still as Sean said, the very clear-cut fourth best car on the grid. The biggest thing was how they managed personalities. And that happened not just with their current drivers, with their young star that they've now lost in Oscar Piastri, that whole saga. You've made now an interesting choice. Well, not so much made, but you clearly did not have a good relationship with Alonso, considering he just said peace at summer break. You couldn't get in contact with him, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm signing with Aston Martin. See you later, because you guys suck."
Oh, and I'm
So
in
there's
Spain.
something going on. Oh, and I'm in Spain. Yeah, we can't reach him. Oh, I have my phone, and I'm just going to post on Instagram quickly. Hey, guys, what's up?
Alonso's hilarious for that. He plays the
Yeah.
game. He does.
Yep.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in the sport long enough.
Oh yeah.
But now you've also made an interesting decision in bringing Pierre Gasly to pair with Ocon, and those two have butted heads in the past. So based off how you've managed Alonso and Ocon, it doesn't give me great hope on how Otmar and the team are going to manage Pierre and Ocon. So I guess we'll see. Maybe it's the whole thing of winning, or I guess in this case, doing or exceeding expectations, which might be able to help cooler heads prevail. But if they can't manage the personalities, this could be a very interesting season upcoming. So, but again, they've built a fast car, so if they can build off of it and carry that momentum into next season, again, maybe the podiums come in with Pierre and Ocon, and they decide to not fight on the grid or on track.
And you mentioned also the quick thing about Piastri. They were one of the only teams that benefited from the whole Piastri bullshit.
Yeah,
Because instead of getting Piastri, they went out and got Gasly, who I would take over Piastri every single
yeah,
day.
you're
Oh,
taking
100%.
the skill over the potential.
Yeah.
hmm
So
And hey, maybe if they take a jump next year, that could be a fun driver lineup to all of a sudden be punching above its weight.
yep, and now that could be a fun little rivalry next season as well with Piastri and McLaren.
I would love to see Alpine take it to the big three, though.
Yes, that
Oh,
would be great. If they
100%.
can be that team, if they can be that team that steps up, do it.
Yeah.
Again, I think the biggest thing will be managing the personalities. If Ocon's gonna be a complete dick to Gasly and Gasly just decides to be a complete dick back, then if they can't
Yeah,
control
exactly.
that's gonna be.
Here's the
But
thing.
again, as Taylor said, that's every team.
Yeah.
That
half
is
of the
every
battle
team.
half the battle is managing personality.
Yes,
So-
and my last thing about Alpine next year that I'm going to say is my prediction is that the problems will stem from Ocon, and Gasly will be a lot more willing to try and make it work.
Yeah, that makes
That
sense.
is what I'm
Yeah.
predicting.
So now
Yeah.
we will pull a Piastri and move on from Alpine to McLaren.
Yep, nice.
Ha
Well
ha
done.
ha.
I thought that
Oh,
was
well
great.
done.
That was a good transition.
Okay.
I'll pat myself in the back for that one.
Yep. Okay. Who wants Lando?
I want the team.
You want the team?
Okay.
Okay.
I want
Taylor, do you want-
Ricardo.
You okay?
Guess you got Lando.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I honestly am kind of surprised no one wanted Lando because he was just sort of on an island and was the best of the rest.
There's
in terms
nothing
of,
to
like,
say
what we've
about
seen.
Lando.
No, he was,
Yeah.
but like, so I saw a graphic today. He was the only non-Mercedes, Ferrari, or Red Bull driver to score a podium.
Yep.
And that
Oh,
I
okay.
think, and he's also the only other driver not on one of those three teams to put up triple digit points. Ocon was close with 92, but that still puts him 30 points behind Lando. So
True. He had a very good year, and McLaren did very
Yeah,
good
he-
to build their team around him.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that's clearly the path going forward because they've brought in a younger driver who's gonna be learning behind him. It's not like Piastri's gonna immediately challenge Lando, I don't think. Yeah, and if McLaren can use their extra wind tunnel time and give him a slightly better car, we've seen that he can be up fighting for those spots. I think in the last two seasons, he has the talent to do it, but now he needs needs the equipment underneath him to sort of take that next step up and maybe break up those top 6 drivers going into next season. So we'll see what they can do. But if based off how much the McLaren cars seem to struggle this year, I'd say the fact he outdrove that car, looking at how Ricardo did. So
Yeah.
A+ year from Lando.
Taylor, what do you got on Ricardo?
Feel bad for him. He did not have a great year.
Yeah, he was
And
slow.
that resulted in it resulted in him getting hit with his deal getting cut short with McLaren and them, the whole Piastri thing.
You know that
He was
meme?
slow.
I was saying, you know that meme
What
of like
meme?
the wiping the tears of money?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricardo got paid a lot to give up his deal.
Yep.
Yeah, he did. He did get paid a lot. I feel bad for him because I think he kind of got screwed in that situation. I understand that his performance wasn't necessarily up to snuff. Like, it does take him a while to adjust to a new car, and that's just what it was. Like, it was a brand new car. Like, everybody was adjusting to it. He just takes a little bit more time to get well acquainted to something. And he struggled. I think he did a lot better in the second half of the season, and I think he really was like growing into it. It's disappointing that he's no longer in like a full-time F1 seat, and he's taking the role as the reserve driver at Red Bull. But yeah, like, there's not much to say other than he just had a tough year. Yeah. Maybe he'll be back. Who knows?
I think his career's done. He'll be a good reserve guy. He might come back. He might pull a Hulkenberg or something, but I think he's kind of.
I literally was gonna say, like, he might pull a Nico Hulkenberg, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's.
Yeah.
Maybe if Haas gets desperate enough again in a couple years.
Maybe. He's American enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Honorary.
So yeah,
But yeah, I think Taylor nailed it. We've said it before. Ricardo cannot. The first year he's in a new car, do not bet on him.
no.
No.
You're gonna be disappointed. Whether it's with the same team, which we saw this year with McLaren, or if it's him switching from Red Bull to Renault or Renault to McLaren. It's the first year he can't figure it out. It takes him a full year to figure out a car, and that's seemed to be his biggest criticism his entire career.
He needs
Red Bull, he
cars
had it figured
built
out.
specifically for his driving style.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly, and it takes a full year to fully tune it in, and that's a problem when you're on the back half of your career and there's a bunch of young talent knocking out the door.
And they take priority, and they, and when you have 3 guys finish between you and your teammate on 2 different teams, that's a problem.
And you're almost 100 points behind your teammate.
Yeah.
On top of that. So.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, team.
Okay. McLaren was the ultimate bad guy this year. Do I talk team or organization? Because, McLaren organization as a whole.
You have to do both.
Yeah.
In this situation, you have to do both.
McLaren is waving their here, come drive an F1 paper in front of everyone they can. They're trying to amass every single driver they can to get them and basically just collect talent. They've done that on IndyCar. They're doing that in F1 now. They tried getting Alex Palou. You can't tell me that the Palou thing also wasn't possibly their first choice before Piastri.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they got Piastri again. Another great person they're going for. I also want to point out Piastri, Palou, Pato. Starts with a P. McLaren wants you.
Yep.
Doesn't quite work with the award part, but the P's still there.
Close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
The team is being ruthless right now, and I think it is great for the team to find the best talent for them.
That makes sense.
It is putting pressure on the drivers to basically be, hey, we got all these guys waiting. If you don't perform, you're done.
Yep.
So for that, going forward, if they get a good car or not even a good car, but a good driver lineup with a good car, and they can start really nipping at the heels of those top 3, they're a team that might surprise you the odd time because they have to. And if you're a number 2 driver, or you're just the second driver because the other guy is outperforming the car like you saw this year, you're going to get replaced. Simple as that. McLaren has no problem, and Zach Brown has no problem just being, okay, we're going to find the best.
Yep.
So going forward, they're going to be a fun team to watch. Don't get attached to anyone who drives a McLaren. They might be gone in a year. But they are going to be a fun off-track team to watch.
Yeah. I don't think you can really say much else about them.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's very clear whoever is doing their budget has just said, you know what, just give me the numbers at the end of the year, and we'll just make sure that we aren't doing any creative accounting and getting screwed over by the FIA.
It's convenient.
It's
convenient that you get to put your other drivers under IndyCar contracts. It's not under your F1 team, so you can bury salary over there.
Yep. So that'll be fun. Okay, so I think that's what the top 5.
Top 5.
So I feel like the back half's going to be a little bit quicker here.
Let's go. Let's
not as much fun storylines.
Let's try to speed run this.
Alfa Romeo.
Honestly, better than we thought.
Better than we thought. Yeah.
I think better than we thought. Bottas actually looked like a team leader.
Yeah.
Better than we thought. That second half of the year was abysmal, though.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
40, I think, so they got 55 points as a team. Anyone want to guess how many points they got after Canada?
29.
29?
Yeah.
Points after Canada? Do you really want to know
Sorry,
what
not
it was?
29. Why am I saying 29? It was, I'm reading 10 and 9 on the screen.
Jesus.
I don't know why I said, but no, yeah, so it's 1, 1, and 2, so it's 4 points.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
Joe had 1 point in Italy, and that's all he had.
I was
and
reading
then,
Oh
results.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Point
That
total.
is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bottas had 46 points, I think, up until Canada, and then he scored 3 the rest of the way. Oh boy, that team fell off a cliff, and they are lucky Aston Martin did not pass them.
They caught him.
Yeah,
Didn't
they
pass him.
really did.
Yep. Nice try, kid. But as long as you're against me, you'll always be second best, see?
I wonder also if for that team there was budget issues.
Probably. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
They lost an entire car in the Joe crash.
Yeah,
Mhm.
at Silverstone, yeah.
So
That was a bad wreck, too.
yeah, it was one of the
Yeah.
that was the worst one of the year for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for
That
sure.
easily.
that or mix. Which one? Yes.
Oh, in
Yeah.
Monaco? Yeah.
Or Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia.
Or Saudi Arabia.
Mhm. The Saudi one was. Ugh.
But, yeah.
Aston Martin's.
Yeah, I agree. Bottas. Well, I was gonna say Bottas team leader. Joe
Joe better than
half decent
expected.
year.
Yeah. Good rookie year.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot
Great.
more.
He's still a rookie. I don't know
Yeah.
why I thought it was his second year, but yeah.
Oh. Aston Martin. Worse than thought.
Complete opposite. Well, I was gonna say complete opposite of
Of Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, abysmal
Of
first
Alpha,
half.
yeah.
Then came on strong in the
Um,
second. Yeah.
Yep.
You see the team
And,
that has money starts kicking up in the second half. The team with no money falls
Yeah.
away. So
Yeah.
Well, and all I have to say is Danke Sam.
yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
That's really
Seb
all
is
I have
gone.
to say.
That's true.
Yeah. Big sad. Big sad. I'm gonna very much miss him on the grid next year.
I think everyone.
I want to see the Stroll Alonso pair. What fireworks will be there?
That'll be interesting, especially after Coda. How long does Alonso do the "I'll stay in line because you're giving me money" act? Because he was, I was expecting a full blow up after Coda.
I also feel like Lance Stroll I feel is one of the literal chillest drivers. Like he just looks
Yeah.
perpetually high.
Yeah, well,
you're
hey,
right.
hey,
He
hey.
does.
It's illegal here, so that
He
makes
might
sense.
be.
Yeah, it was unfortunate what happened. Yeah, he's a terrible interview. Gives no good quotes. He gets animated on the radio maybe once every 10 races.
He's just a good Canadian boy.
He is. But he had a fine year, I guess, for what he had.
Yeah.
A couple good drives.
Yeah, just
you know,
fine.
his highlight is probably the start in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's always.
He's always a good starter.
If he could find, I was gonna say, if he could find any pace on Saturday, it'd be amazing to see him start Sunday and just somehow sneak through everyone. Because he's always whenever they put up that little graphic of positions gained from the start,
always
he's
the top.
always in that top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like
Always.
after what I watched you do yesterday, where are you getting pace from? Where?
Mhm.
And everyone's starting on mediums. You're starting on hards. How the hell
Yeah, it is. It is
your
impressive.
race trim that much
Yeah.
quicker? How the? And
That-
then he
but-
falls.
yeah.
into the
Aston
disaster.
Martin
And
also this year was good in race trim, but terrible in qualifying. Like at times, Vettel was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, we're out." What? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a team that needs to
I
figure
really-
out qualifying.
Well, it's and I mean like Stroll for sure. Like he's just not a good qualifier. He's got to figure that out. Yeah, he's always good off the start. He's just got to be consistent. Be consistent.
So Haas.
Haas.
We have to talk about Haas.
Good start of the
Yes.
season, bad finish again. Had no money, clearly.
Yeah, we were all so excited for Haas. Remember, we were like, "Oh my gosh, Haas might be the best of the rest this season." No.
Magnussen
Well, they had
basically
10
carried the
points
team.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm sorry. You're in my bad books, Haas. I don't like you anymore. You screwed over Mick, our golden boy.
Yeah, no, that's true. Haas really did screw over Mick. Didn't really give him a chance. clearly they made their mind up way sooner in the year to get Hulkenberg. So Magnussen did his thing. I have nothing bad to say about Magnussen. He had a good year, good start.
And he got it highlighted at the end with the pole position.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
so
Magnussen's doing his role. Everyone else at that team, unfortunately, is not. And honestly, despite Haas being in the shitbag for Taylor, the people there deserve that pole still. Maybe Gunter didn't, but the people there did.
Yeah, and I guess we'll see how Hulkenberg does, but I mean, I still don't. I think a lot of people are going to be scratching their heads at why you're bringing in a guy older than the guy who's retiring and giving up on the young guy who is barely 23. That's still an interesting choice for a young team trying to save money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like, it's just, there's just so many things that aggravated me about this whole thing. Like one of them was Gunther's point about like, Mick was growing with the team, but we weren't growing with Mick. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, not a good look.
What
You
does
have
it
to
mean?
produce a good car. Like, what does that even mean? Ugh.
I don't know, but
Anyway,
it's
the whole thing is
provocative.
frustrating. Ooh, it gets us talking.
No, it gets the people going. Damn it.
Going. Come on.
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about Haas anymore.
No.
AlphaTauri?
Yeah. Meh.
Uh,
Disappointing.
Yeah, not a good year. I think next year will be even worse for them. Like Gasly was the one who had the results this year. He was fine.
I think Yuki, like, I'm sorry, it's not that he's not talented, I'm not sure he has it.
I'll give him one more year.
To be honest.
And then he'll probably be out. Not going anywhere.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate, but, because, like, he had so much promise and everyone was so excited when he came into F1, but, the results just aren't there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens next year, but...
He's going to probably do the same thing this year. Be up and down. Be an okay driver. Have his moments. And then probably move to IndyCar at the end of the year when Sato retires. Honda needs that Japanese guy,
Yep, I don't hate that. I mean, you can't be having 5 DNFs.
But like Yuki is
still after
so
June.
Young. Like he's only 22.
He is still the baby somehow.
He is. So like I'm not gonna fault him too much for that, really.
No, and I don't like the fact Gasly went from race winner last year, albeit with some luck, like to just all the way at the back. Like last year, it was always like they were very he was very Alonso like this year. And it's like, how the hell is Pierre Gasly like in 6th?
Like,
where the hell did he come from? Why is that AlphaTauri doing well?
Though. Like he had 2 top 10, then he got a 5th place. Like, okay,
yeah.
Like Yuki had an 8th and a 7th to start the year. Like again, it started off well. It just wasn't there, I guess, as the year went on. So it's unfortunate, but we'll see what happens next year.
Yeah. But I agree with you, Sean. I don't have high hopes for them.
I think they might finish 10th next year.
Not impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to drop almost 30 points to Williams. So.
I mean, it's Williams. I don't know what to expect at this point. They got some points. They were there. Clearly, they never really put anything into developing the car. It'll take a while. They got the most win tunnel time. They got the most win tunnel time. They're going to get more money with like the new owners and stuff. It takes time to build these things, right?
Yep. So, and I was going to say they also have Logan Sargent, so that's going to be its own growing pains with a kid who's never been in F1.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. I mean, if they can use this year to sort of build and develop the car a little more with the extra time, and then on the fan side, you have the lone American on the grid, so maybe you can build up your fan base there a little bit.
It is
Maybe try and get some more.
It's probably a good sign they are looking at more commercial options for their team and bringing in Sargent in terms of like the American businesses and possible American sponsorship, than keeping Latifi and relying on I would say his money that he brings. So that's probably a good sign of where that team is going financially.
Yeah.
So it is what it
Hope
is.
for the best there.
And that's all 10 teams and drivers.
Yep.
Now, do you want to go through our predictions? Because that took an hour.
Yep. Do you want to do the predictions? Actually, you know what? Let's do this first because this will be quick.
Okay.
Fantasy. We had 20 teams
wow.
this year.
I didn't even look at that.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
That was
And-
also my downfall. And Taylor, I'm very sorry. You're gonna have to look at the championship trophy if we had one, because your dad won.
Again. I know.
That's funny.
Again. Here's the thing. If we're going to do fantasy, like, we all need to actually pay attention, because I'm telling you, this man, he is on it every single week. Checking his team, making changes. Like, he keeps up with the points. Good for you, Don. Clap,
Fine.
clap.
I will be more on it next year.
Yeah,
Yes,
I really
because
need
also-
to pay attention.
Paige's mom is also very invested in this, so like we have to be on it, because
And she was fourth.
yeah, she was like, yeah,
Okay, fine.
But-
Next year, fine. We'll be on it more.
Yeah.
okay,
I mean, and for the second year running, out of the three of us, I was still the best.
Nah,
so
that's not
suck
surprising.
it.
boo.
I think I had both Astons. What do you expect?
I was
Yeah,
carrying.
that's because you have too much faith.
I was carrying Bottas until the last two races of the year.
Bottas had a good year. We just said that.
Yeah, he had a good first half of the year. He was garbage after that.
Tomato.
0 points.
Capitalize early.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Okay.
Prediction
okay.
time. Okay. Do you guys want to start with our top? So we did at the beginning of the year. We did our top five drivers and our entire constructors list. Where do you want to start?
Let's do drivers first, because I feel like
Drivers
that would
first?
be the most like non-embarrassing.
Okay. So for the drivers, actually, let me move this quickly. That way I can do some separate totals. So a quick reminder for where we had everyone. So who wants their team done first?
I'll take the bullet first.
Okay. Sean, do you remember who your champion was?
Verstappen.
You would be wrong. You
Damn
had
it.
Charles Leclerc.
Ooh.
That's close.
That was
That's close.
second.
I mean, he
Okay.
was second by
Bad.
a lot, but he was second.
That's fair.
You also had Verstappen in second place, so I'm doing the same thing that we did with IndyCar, where however many spots you were off, you get a point. It's golf. You want lowest points possible, so you got 2 points there.
Okay.
You had Hamilton third,
Ooh.
Perez in fourth, so that's not bad.
Hey.
Vettel in fifth. He was 12th.
In our hearts, he was fifth.
Sure. However, this was not based off of our hearts. This was based off of actual standings. So
I wanted
still
this.
fifth.
That was my heart. Okay, fine.
So, Taylor.
Oh no. Oh no.
Taylor nailed the top two. She went for Verstappen, Leclerc.
Ooh, good job, Taylor.
Oh. Okay, that's because I knew they were gonna Ferrari. Okay, now
Yep.
where's the embarrassment?
However, you copied Sean for the next three, going Hamilton, Perez, Vettel.
Why did I do that?
because we wanted it. We wanted it in our hearts. We knew it was gonna be his last year. We wanted
when
it.
we get when we get to the constructors, oh dear lord.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
So, in total points, Sean, you have 13. Taylor, you have 11. For my
Okay.
picks, I said it was going to be Verstappen, Hamilton. I had Verstappen coming out on top, so I got one there. Hamilton was 4 points, so not great.
Woof.
I had Leclerc in third, Perez in fourth. We all had Perez in fourth for some reason. I don't know why we hate Perez. And I had Sainz fifth for a grand total of 6 points.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Fine.
I mean, to be fair, when we go over the constructors, it makes no sense how this would have made sense, but sure.
I'll take the bullet first.
You want constructors first?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Oh wow. Oh,
Sean
boy.
nailed the top two on the constructors, going Red Bull, Ferrari.
Okay.
He then put Aston Martin in third.
Again, this is my hope.
5 points.
I was really hoping they were sandbagging the end of the year,
We always do.
and they weren't. They were shit.
No, they left the sandbags on after testing.
Yeah, until they switched to a whole new car.
And then,
Yeah.
How about we make a car that doesn't have sandbags on it? You know, I never thought of that. Let's try it. You had Mercedes in fourth, McLaren in fifth. We actually all had McLaren in fifth. I don't know why, but good job, everybody, on that.
Good for us.
It's amazing how McLaren was fifth.
Yeah. How we got it was exactly like how you used to do accounting. I don't know how we got there, but good job on getting the right answer.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough.
You had Alpine, Alpha, Williams, Haas, and Alfa Romeo. So
Alfa Romeo, I think, is the biggest whiff, besides the Aston Martin,
Yes.
obvious one.
yes,
Everything
I
else,
think
I think we predicted kind of everything mostly close, but yeah.
Yeah.
So Sean with a grand total of 18 points.
Yay.
You know what? These were all pretty close. So Taylor's team,
Oh no.
Ferrari first.
Oh no.
So I mean, after the first three races, it was pretty good, and then they just
Crap the bed.
left after that. Yeah. Here's where we have a problem. You made Sean's pick of Aston in third look somewhat sane because you took Aston second.
Jesus, Taylor.
That is bold beyond
This is
belief.
exactly what happens with my betting. This is why I shouldn't make bets because I always go too bold and it never hits.
You bet on George Russell to win at one point. Too bad that was last year.
Yeah, when he was still on Williams.
Exactly.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Red
continue.
Bull third, Mercedes fourth, McLaren fifth. We already said that. Alpine, AlphaTauri. Honestly, AlphaTauri might be the other big whiff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you nailed Haas as well in seventh. Williams in eighth.
Okay.
Alfa Romeo in ninth, or in 10th. Sorry.
Okay.
So grand total of 20 points.
Oh. Okay.
And mine. I had Ferrari first, Red Bull second, so switch those back.
Okay, close
I
enough.
had
Okay.
Mercedes. I had Mercedes third somehow. Don't
Good
remember
choice.
that,
You're smart.
but
Good
I'll take
choice.
it. Aston fourth, so the
Eh,
closest,
oh.
but still not great.
Yeah.
McLaren went AlphaTauri, Alpine, two big whiffs there. Williams, Haas, Alpha for 19 points. So Sean was the best out of the constructors,
Surprising.
and overall, because of the Vettel picks, I win.
That's fair. But yeah, I would say the biggest whiffs going into the season, and probably the biggest unknowns, were Aston Martin and Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
Because I think going in, we
Agreed.
thought Aston was going to be a lot better than Alfa Romeo.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
we thought Alfa Romeo was going to be a lot worse. It's kind of funny how they ended up in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm not too upset about that, really, but those were, I think, one everyone was very high on, the other everyone was very low on, and they were the same by the end. So
Yep.
next season, it'll be interesting to see where those two teams continue.
Yes.
Do
and
they
it's gonna
jump?
be-
Do they both jump up into that McLaren Alpine range, or do they kind of continue to be Formula C?
D.
Well, you got A, which is like the top three, and then you got B in the middle.
Well, they can't be Formula E because they're not electric.
Hmm.
Shit, I
Fair
didn't
enough.
think of that one, Taylor.
He said Formula E.
I said C.
No, I said
Steven
E.
said
Oh, you
E.
said E. Oh well.
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah. So you take all of your like little.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, Steven. Are you
comments back.
stupid?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's I guess we're okay with that.
Okay, do you guys want to do a quick quiz?
Go for it. Hit it.
All right. So this one came out from Racer. I don't know if you. Hopefully, you guys haven't seen it.
Nope.
This was someone decided to go back and find teams' first poles in celebration of Kevin Magnussen scoring the first pole for Haas in Brazil.
Okay.
Can you name the teams that I give and who scored their first pole?
Of this season?
Ever.
No, not of this, not of the season, ever.
Mhm.
I will give you the team.
Ever?
Yeah, I will give you the team and the year. That's
Okay.
what you get.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All
Your-
right.
Your
We're working
bar-
together here. We're working together
Hey,
here, Taylor.
Yeah, you can work together. Your bar that I set earlier today was 6.
To get
Part of it was
six.
get. I will admit, part of it was just saying, that's an old guy who might have been around. Let's try it, and it worked. So you know what?
Okay.
Okay. Let's do this.
Okay, we'll
let's do
start.
this. We got
We'll give
this.
you we'll give you a free one here. Haas.
Kevin Magnussen.
Good job. I didn't even have to give you the year. Good job.
Yeah. Of
Okay.
course, we knew that.
AlphaTauri, or as they were known at the time, Toro Rosso.
Sebastian
the year
Vettel.
was 2008. Very good.
Don't even have to get you to finish that question. That was at. Oh, do you want the track too? That was at Monza.
Oh
good
my
job.
gosh.
Okay. Let's give you a tougher one here. Mercedes, the brand. The year was 1954.
Ooh. 1954? Had
Yep.
F1 even started yet?
It had, considering it started in 1950 or
Juan
1951.
Manuel Fangio.
Jeez.
Very good, Sean.
Oh,
That
wow.
was another
good for
one
you.
where I was like, yeah, that's an old guy who.
Oh, I
Who raced
I
you then?
just pulled that one out of my ass.
It's
I
not so
thought
did I
that
when I did it.
Fangio. Okay, first, to be honest, I did not watch the full documentary on Fangio. It's on my list.
There's a documentary on Fangio.
Yeah, on Netflix.
Well, I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
I'm pretty sure it's him.
I don't know.
Okay, let's
Okay.
come back a little more to the present.
So that's
Let's
three.
go.
That's three, Steven. You haven't even stumped
so you
us
got three.
once.
Hey, don't worry, it'll get fun.
Dumped you.
Let's go. The year was 1999 when Red Bull, or as they were known at the time, Stewart, scored their first pole.
1999?
1999.
Okay.
Stewart? Ooh. Driving in the late 90s, early thousands. I don't even know.
Or Stewart was, they have it here, Stewart was listed as the mark.
The mark.
In 99. Okay, right?
In 99, like who was still driving in 99 that was like that you know of? Because I do not know that era very well.
Can
At
I
all.
ask? Can I get one hint?
Sure. Well, I'll have to try and think of a hint. Okay.
Can I
Or
get
do you
the-
have a specific
get
question?
hints?
Specific hint.
Okay.
Can I get their
Where are they
nationality?
from?
Yes.
I was thinking the same thing. Are they Finnish?
It's not Hakkinen.
Okay. Are they Swedish?
You know what? You might get it off of this, Sean. Brazilian.
Oh.
Rubens Barrichello.
Rubens Barrichello is correct.
Oh, nice.
So
I knew
I
it
was
was
gonna
a-
say PK.
I do remember it was a famous name who got the first one for Stewart at the time.
Okay,
4
so
for
you're
Oh my
4.
gosh.
Ooh.
This is not a quiz for me.
Feeling it.
This is really Sean's
right.
quiz here.
You know what? I'm gonna give you a real tough one here. Alpine, or as they were marked, Tolman in 1985.
Holman?
Senna.
It was not Senna.
Ooh, it wasn't Senna.
Tolman.
Ooh.
Tolman? Okay, 1985 you said?
1985.
Okay, Nigel Mansell.
No.
Okay, I don't think I'll know this one. Give me a nationality still.
Oh, nationality.
Or was it? No, who was it? Actually, I don't know who the hell that is. Tio what?
Yeah, Tio Fabi.
No idea.
He's Italian, Sean.
Never
Come on.
heard of him.
Yeah,
Come
no.
on.
That's a good one.
Never heard of him.
Yep.
That was a very tough one.
That is.
Next.
Okay. Let's do Alfa Romeo, not as the brand, as BMW Sauber. 2008 was the year.
Oh,
2008?
Yeah, that's Robert Kubica.
Robert Kubica, very good.
I was going to say
Six.
Kubica as well. I kind of knew
Hey,
that one.
Good job.
Kind of knew that one.
We'll give it to you, Taylor. Don't worry. So beat you
All right.
over there,
Okay.
Steven.
Yep. Well, you're at 5, so
It's 6.
Okay. No, that was 5,
who
Sean.
have you got?
You got that wrong.
You got
That last one
Barrichello at
wrong.
Red Bull. You got Fangio.
I got Fangio. I got
You got
Magnussen.
Kubica,
I got Kubica.
Magnussen,
I got
and
Vettel.
Vettel.
And I got Barrichello.
Yeah, I said Barrichello.
Okay, so the first one you started off. Oh, and yeah, so you started off with. Okay, we were fine. 5. I thought it was 6.
No, it's
whatever.
5. No, because you got the one wrong. The one that we never heard of.
Fine.
Yep. So let's move to Aston Martin, marked as Jordan. That was 1994.
If you want to talk about actual Aston Martin, it would be Lance Stroll. But if you
Okay.
want, if you
Aston
want,
Martin as Jordan. Sean.
1994. Okay.
1994. Nigel Mansell.
No.
No, not Nigel Mansell.
Jordan? I've never heard of these. Like, okay, again, I need to buy that F1 history book because, like,
I mean, do
Yikes.
you want the answer, Stephen?
What
That's
is the
the point
answer?
of a quiz, isn't it?
Damon Hill.
It's not Damon Hill.
Damn it.
And just for that cockiness, no more guesses for you. Taylor, do you have
Fine.
any more guesses?
who was the flip was driving in 1994?
Sean might be mildly pissed at this answer.
Was it his teammate?
No. Actually, well, yes, but
I have no idea. I really have no idea. I'm not familiar enough with the names back then.
oh no, it wasn't his.
Kiki Rosberg.
No. Sean will be mildly pissed at this answer. Are you out of guesses or are you done? Yeah, okay, you know
I'm
what? You're
done.
done. Oh, I already said you were done, yeah, for your
Yeah.
cockiness. But the reason Sean will be mildly pissed at this answer is because it's the same driver as the Red Bull steward. It was Rubens Barrichello.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Okay, fine.
Fun little bit of
Hey,
trickery there.
Barrichello.
That is a good one.
Okay, who haven't we done? Okay, this one's for Taylor. Ferrari. 1951.
Seriously? No. Okay, hold on, let me think. 1951?
1951. The driver was born in 1922.
Nationality.
You want nationality too?
Mhm.
He was Argentinian.
No, I have no idea. No idea.
Yeah, I haven't got this one.
The answer is Jose Froilan Gonzalez.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did
that's
he
one of the
live
tougher
past
ones.
40?
Yes.
Ah, damn.
He,
it.
you know
Oh,
what?
wow.
He was born October 5th, 1922. Died June 15th, 2013.
Okay.
Wow, long life. Good for him. He survived
he
the
survived
actual
F1.
death traps.
Yep.
He survived F1 back in the day.
He drove to
Before
survive.
safety was even a thing.
He did drive
literally
to
drove
survive. Okay, hang on. I gotta mark off who I've done here. We did BMW Sauber. We did Aston Martin as Jordan Haas. We did Toro Rosso, right? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I call a friend?
No.
No.
I'm gonna phone a friend. Sebastian Vettel. You would know all
Yeah,
of these.
that would
Yeah, I
be a
know he
good
would.
call.
Yeah.
That would be a good call. Okay, let's do Red Bull the brand, 2009.
I don't. 2009 Red Bull the brand
Yep.
as like the team they are now.
So Sebastian Vettel.
Sebastian Vettel is correct.
Yeah.
I was sort of hoping you'd lean away from it because Taylor's like, let's call Sebastian Vettel.
No. Vettel was both the first pole and first win for Red Bull and for Toro Rosso.
Yes. Okay. Mercedes, or as they were known as Matra or Tyrrell, 1969. Nice.
1969. Jackie Stewart.
Jackie Stewart is correct.
Nice.
Oh!
Great job,
Very
Taylor.
well done.
Total guess.
She's excited. Good job.
Okay. You got three more.
Okay, hit
I
him.
think you got like seven.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
six
that's
or
7
something.
there.
7.
Good job, Taylor.
Thank you.
McLaren, 1972.
Oh, okay, hold on. McLaren 1972. No, it's not gonna be right. But James Hunt?
No.
Oh, what about McLaren? Bruce McLaren.
No.
No.
I'm gonna go with Emerson Fittipaldi.
That is not correct.
Damn it.
This was an American driver.
Ooh.
An American?
An American.
Andretti.
No.
I do not know. Who was it?
Peter Revson.
Huh. Okay.
No idea.
All right. Alfa Romeo, the brand, 1950.
Are you serious? 1950.
Yes.
Fangio.
No. I mean, fair guess.
Ascari.
It was not Ascari.
That's all I got.
Who?
Not a bad guess with Fangio, considering Vettel and Barrichello are on here twice. But any more guesses?
No.
No.
Nino Farina.
No. Wouldn't have got that one.
No.
Would
The
not have
the,
gotten
the,
that,
the
no.
1950 ones are a little bit tougher.
Yeah, those are
A
difficult.
little bit tougher. Those are massively difficult unless you know like your history inside and out for F1.
Yeah.
I really need to buy that book. Okay, F1 store.
It's
Take my
Cyber
money.
Monday. Go get it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not no ads.
Much like the F1 grid, last but not least, we have Williams.
Williams.
1979.
1979. A lot of drivers drove for them. Nigel Mansell.
No.
Keke Rosberg.
Prost.
Who?
Keke Rosberg?
Nope.
1979. Frank Williams.
Not Frank Williams.
Oh my gosh. I literally we should know this because we've
Nationality.
seen the Williams documentary. British, right?
No.
Oh.
He wasn't. He still is an Aussie. The Pride of Melbourne.
Aussie. Pride of Melbourne. 1979? Ooh. Oh, shoot. You know what? His name is quite literally in my head on the tip of my tongue because I swear to goodness they've mentioned this in
I got
the
nothing.
Williams documentary.
I'm looking it up.
His name is going to annoy me. What is it? Who is it?
It is Alan Jones.
Oh, damn it.
Oh,
That one you probably
Yes.
should have got.
Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. You're right.
It
Dang
was
it.
a fun little quiz, and you guys got 7. So well
Okay,
done.
well,
I'll take
Sean,
it.
thanks for carrying the team.
I would have
You
got
did one
6 if
better-
it wasn't for the one you got. So, you're
You
Jackie
did
Stewart.
one better than me, but I will give you a little bit of shit because I did not get hints on nationality.
That's fair.
So,
Oh, well.
anywho,
That was fun.
that was.
Good. Thank you, Racer, for that.
And thank you
Yeah.
very much for listening to this episode. If you've made it all the way to the end, thank you. We'll be back next week. Thank you, and goodbye.
Thanks for listening to Spare Parts. Remember to follow the show on Twitter at sparepartspod and the hosts at Stephen Clary, at Sean Cavarella, and at Tate Moore.